Hi guys, my name is Henry aka Spartan2, and in this video we're going to go through some of the settings for Tarkov, and to just give your PC a little bit of a boost. Some of these settings will translate to other games, but we're going to focus mainly on Tarkov for this video. Tarkov is an awesome game. It is, however, very taxing on your computer, and for that reason we're going to go over some settings that allows you to get the best performance out of your hardware and software. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a restore point. You want to go into your Windows search bar and search for create a restore point. Once you've hit that, we're going to hit create, name it whatever you want. I've just named it tutorial for the sake of this, and hit create. It's going to take a few seconds. Basically, this just helps save all the settings before doing any changes, so that if something goes wrong, you can go back to this point and it will be like nothing has happened. Once we've made the restore point, we're going back to the search bar to search for the Windows updates. We want to make sure that the PC is completely updated and all your concurrent drivers and so on are updated as well. We're going to go through how to make sure that your graphics card drivers are updated. That's the most important thing. But make sure that your Windows is completely updated so that it doesn't run in the background or you have something missing. Next, we're going back to the Windows search bar and we're going to search for game mode settings. You're going to click on for a game mode, and it just optimizes the PC for playing video games. Once you've done that, search for game bar, and you want to turn enable Xbox game bar off. Once we've done that, we'll go back to the search bar, search for focus assist, and you want to take this off. You also want to tick the automatic rules off for all the different settings. Next, we're going to hit run. You're going to search for percentage temp, T-E-M-P, percentage, and we're going to hit control, click something in here, hit control and then A, which selects everything, and then you're just going to hit delete. Some of these files will stay in place. You can just hit skip, but this deletes local files that are unnecessary for the computer. Next, we're going to go to where you have installed Tarkov. I have a separate SSD apart from my Windows SSD. It does not matter which you install it on, as long as it's on an SSD. This is something that even Battlestate suggests, and I highly suggest that you have all of your games on an SSD to have them load as fast as they can, and so that the read speed is as fast as possible. Once you have located your hard drive, right click, hit properties, hit disk cleanup, and then go through any files that you might be able to remove. So I have none at this point, but I'm just going to show an example on my Windows SSD. So it's the same thing there. You hit the properties, disk cleanup, make sure that you tick off any folders that you might have important files on. For example, my download folder usually has different stuff that I want to keep, so you want to untick that and only tick the things that are unnecessary. Example is going to be the recycle bin here that I'm gonna tick and remove those files. These are just easy tips to kind of keep maintenance up on your PC, so I suggest doing this whenever you do have the time or a couple of weeks in between. Next, we're going to go back to the Windows bar and we're going to search for graphics settings. You want to hit hardware accelerated GPU scheduling on. You want to hit the variable refresh rate off. search for Escape from Tarkov and hit the options and make sure that the graphics preference is on high performance. Next, we're going to go through the boot configuration of the computer and make sure we don't have any unnecessary programs booting. So we're going to hit the search bar, ms config or system configuration, doesn't matter which one you click here or search for. Once you've opened this, we hit services. You want to hit hide all Microsoft services right there. And then you want to start ticking off different programs that are not necessary while you run a game. I have a bunch that I have, disabled, and I have a few enabled, such as my antivirus programs and things like that I can manually shut off if I want to. Next, you'll go to startup and look at the different programs that are starting up with your computer and start ticking those off. So you can also hit Control-Alt-Delete, which opens the task manager, and you just hit the tab that says startup, look through the different programs that you have, and disable anything that you see that is completely unnecessary while you boot your computer. Next, we're going to search for advanced system settings in the search bar, which is going to open system properties. We're going to hit the advanced tab, and at performance, you're going to click settings, and then you're going to remove everything but the two boxes that I have ticked. Show thumbnails instead of icons and smooth edges of screen fonts. I'm going to hit apply or OK. Next, we're going to look at Discord. Discord has a hardware acceleration program or feature inside its embeds, and most people play this game with Discord on, so I highly suggest to tick this off. So once you've opened Discord, you go into the settings, and once you're in the settings, you're going to hit advanced, and there's going to be hardware acceleration. I'm going to turn this off. It's going to ask you to relaunch it. Okie dokie. And we're set. Next, we're going to do the same with Google Chrome. All you have to do is click the three buttons to the right, hit settings. On the left hand side, you'll have a drop down menu where it says advanced. Click that. And then you'll have system. You click that, and then you take off hardware acceleration. Now, one thing that I do want to recommend or highlight is the use of Opera GX. GX is an alternative browser that I think looks amazing, and it feels amazing. It's very snappy compared to Google Chrome. It has embedded VPN and ad blocker. It is just a little bit more convenient than Chrome. On the left hand side of GX Opera, you're able to adjust the CPU or RAM that the browser is using. So you're able to adjust it so that you have more, you allot more for your games, basically. And they do work. The next thing that's really nice with Opera GX is that you can embed your Twitch, which allows you to look at your favorite Twitch streamers, and you can also embed your Instagram, your Twitter account, and your Spotify directly into the browser, which allows you for quick access, and your able to just do things in your browser instead of alt tabbing between, you know, 2, 3, 4 different programs or tabs or whatever it is. You can also individually mute the tabs as you open them up, and it's just a bit easier and more convenient. The customizable options as well for this is, I think, way more advanced than Google Chrome has it now. So when I do stream, I use Opera GX because it's just a little bit better. Next, we're going to go to the search bar, search for mouse settings. On the right hand side, once we have this open, you're going to hit additional mouse options, and you're going to hit on the tab that says pointer options. There's an enhanced pointer precision option. You want to tick that off, and you want to hit apply and then OK. This works as the hardware acceleration program that Windows has for other basically programs, and it just takes away performance on your GPU. Next, we're going to go through a little setting inside the Escape of Tarkov folder. So locate that folder and locate the Escape of Tarkov.exe. You right click, hit properties, and then we're going to look at the compatibility tab. Once in the compatibility tab, you want to click, so it's ticked, the disable full screen optimization option, and then hit apply, hit the change DPI tab, and you want to hit override high DPI scaling behavior and hit OK, and allow the application to make the actual change. Press OK, and then that's that. Next, we're going to go through the graphics card settings. Now, this is going after NVIDIA because I don't think that many people have an AMD card, and I myself do not have an AMD card. Therefore, I can't give you advice on how to adjust your settings accordingly. So we're going to go to Google. We're going to search for NVIDIA. Once you've searched for NVIDIA, the first thing that should pop up is their website, and you'll have GeForce drivers. Click that, and what you can do is download the GeForce experience that will automatically download drivers and update as you wish, or you can do a manual driver search like I'm doing right now for my RTX 2080. And once you've hit the search, you're going to have driver results, and you want to install the top one. Also, a side note is that if you might have any problems with your graphics card or with any drivers, manually downloading a driver might solve that issue or those FPS drops that you might have. You might have to have an older driver that's performing better with your BIOS or system or whatever it is. So sometimes it's good to leave some weeks or some space between the driver updates and Windows updating. Just a side note, because it's not always super optimized, so just for you to know that and keep that in mind, that you can always download each driver manually to fit your specific computer. Once we have updated the drivers, we are going to the graphics settings. Easiest way to open those is to just right click your desktop and open the control panel. Once you've opened this up, you want to look at the 3D settings, adjust image settings with preview, and tick the option for use the advanced 3D image setting. Next, go to the manage 3D settings, and that's where we'll specify the settings for Tarkov. So you want to hit program settings, select the programs to customize, and search for the Escape of Tarkov.exe and add that. Once you've specified that it's Tarkov.exe, we can actually go through the settings. These are the best settings that I've found for Tarkov. I've looked through forums, different YouTube videos, and I've tried different settings to maximize my computer's performance, and these are the settings where I get the best performance. You want to hit image sharpening off, filtering application controlled, anti-aliasing FXAA off, gamma correction on, anti-aliasing mode application controlled. Then you want to hit the transparency for off, background application max frame rate off, GPU use global setting, low latency mode off, max frame rate off, G-Sync compatible if you have that. multi-frame sampled AA off, auto select, prefer maximum performance, highest available, shader cache on, filtering off, filtering allow, and filtering quality, high performance, texture filtering on, threaded optimization off, triple buffering off, vertical sync off, and then virtual reality pre-rendered frames 1. Next is to, of course, set up your G-Sync and make sure that that's enabled. You want to enable it for window mode and full screen mode. I have mine on borderless when I play, so I can interact with chat and quickly get between the stuff that I need to do while streaming. But you want to enable G-Sync if you have a G-Sync compatible monitor. Next is going through the actual settings within Tarkov. Now, the first thing you want to hit is the game option. The first options that you'll be able to see are the different UI options. Make these as you wish. They won't increase or decrease your performance. You want to hit use only the physical cores. The FOV, I keep that at 59. Players will change it to whatever they like. I suggest turning off the head bobbing because it's super annoying and it will change your life. Next, we're going to go through the graphic settings. My screen resolution is 1920 by 1080, 16:9 aspect ratio, and you can go down in that aspect ratio to get more of an FPS boost. I have mine at 1920 by 1080 because I think it's a good mix and it just works well for me. I do have a 2K monitor, so I can't play at 2K, but this is what works best for me. Now, the next part is that you will get an FPS boost slightly, ever so slightly, with playing in full screen. I play in borderless just because I stream, so I do need to get between the different programs that I'm using, but most people are going to tell you to play in full screen mode, and I would suggest the same. Texture quality, you want to hit that at high or medium. I haven't noticed any difference between the two. If you do have a really old graphics card, I'm talking really old, you probably want to hit it at low and do the rest off or at low. Now, the shadows quality, I'm going at low. Object LOD quality 2. Overall visibility, I usually play between 1000 and 1500, but you can go even lower than that. Shadow visibility at 40. Anti-aliasing at high. You can also do FXAA or turn it off. The game will look worse, but it will increase your performance 100%. And I'd rather enjoy the game at the lowest quality and have a good time than get a little bit, better graphics. Resampling at off, HBAO off, SSR off, filtering off, sharpness, I have it at 0. Some people do mess with the sharpness, but since I stream and when I'm using painkillers, it does look weird within the foliage, etc. So when you're running through bushes and you're running in Tarkov, the buffering from the computer to your stream and to uploading, it's too much and it doesn't look good. So I have sharpness at 0. Now, a thing you can do is that you can limit your FPS within the game to be that when you're in the menu, it's at 60 or below, or your game FPS is going to refresh to your monitor or to, for me, 144. And that's the way that I have it. It works fine. Now, there is also a little trick, is that since we turned off VSync in the NVIDIA control panel like we did earlier, if we put it on in the game, it uncaps the frame rate and it allows you to even play at higher frame rates than you're supposed to. To me, it doesn't really matter because I'll have the same frame rate when I'm in the game compared to like if I have the VSync on or off, the frame rate for me whenever I've had it on or off is the same. So therefore, I don't really mess with it. It's whatever to me. So this is the way that I have my settings, and they work great for me. High quality color, Z blur, aberrations, noise, shadows, and streaming at the bottom. Tick all of those off, and we're gonna go to post FX next. Now, the way that I have my post FX is for the game to look as I like it. I think that the game is intended to look a certain way, and I try to have the game look that way. A lot of people oversaturate the game and increase the brightness and use filters to make to get competitive advantages. I don't. Very rarely will I be in a situation to where those post effects settings might have given me that advantage. It doesn't happen too often to me, so for that reason, the post effects settings that I'm going to suggest here are the ones that I think look best while streaming and while playing the game. Brightness at 10, saturation at 0, clarity at 15, colorful 10, luma sharpen 20, and adaptive sharpen at 20. Now, as you can see, there are also colorblind modes and color grading modes. Those color grading modes, mess around with the filters. There might be something that you like. There's also different ones there that makes the darkness aspect of the game look a little bit more like it's just foggy, and it'll be a little bit brighter. So you can mess around there to get the most out of your gameplay experience with the game and with your settings. Now, the one thing that I do want to stretch out with all of these settings and adjustments is that when you play Tarkov, you will have to restart the game every so often to kind of refresh your FPS and everything. For some reason, it just works with Tarkov. You want to clear the cache and just restart the game, and it kind of like resets your FPS and how the game is performing and everything. So every, I'd say 2 hours, maybe even an hour and a half, restart the game, clear cache, and you'll see a little bit of a boost in performance. Another thing that you can do is to reset your GPU while you're gaming or when you're playing and so on. All you do is you hit Control, Shift, Windows key, and then B. This will reset your GPU, and you will have a refreshed GPU to get the maximum performance, basically. Now, a couple of things that I have to mention before ending this video is that these settings are after my computer and my hardware and the way that I play the game. This video is to give you a bit of guideline to adjust your settings and increase the performance on your PC, but also adapt these settings to your PC. If you have a lower tier graphics card, use the 16:9 aspect ratio and just go down in that aspect ratio. Instead of having high texture filtering or high settings, go to low, so on and so forth. Adjust the settings so that they match your hardware. And with that, I hope you'll enjoy Tarkov, and if you have any questions or need any help, follow my Twitch, my YouTube channel, or hit me up on Discord and or Instagram or Twitter, and let me see if I can help you out, whether it's with game settings, computer settings, or streamer settings. Let me know, and thank you so much for watching this video, and have a good rest of your day.